Venture is the most fun character that Overwatch has added into their game in such a long time. Hey everybody, welcome to the video. My name is Abby. In today's video, I'll be giving you my opinion on what I think of Venture, why I think that they're the most fun DPS they've added, or most fun character they've added in a pretty long time, and why I think this character is actually ridiculously balanced. There's a lot of takes going around right now that Venture is kind of broken, OP, things like that. I kind of disagree. I feel like we're in that phase where we're learning how to play against a new hero, and if anything, I think Venture, they have a lot of weaknesses that stick out like sore thumbs. I don't know if Blizzard is going to address that. I'm going to talk about those things too. But let's not waste any time. Let's get started talking about Venture. So Venture, the base kit, really fun to play, really fun to use. Very, very combo heavy DPS character like Genji, Echo, where you have to do a series of combos in order to bring out your full maximum DPS potential in order to pop off. That is a very fun concept. I love that about Genji and Echo. Like, having these DPS that have to combo their abilities together to get max value is always very fun. One thing that I do dislike about Venture's abilities is there's also a little Twitter video that showcases this. I'll probably show it on the screen right now. Is when they're going into the burrow, their hitbox actually still remains in place. Where it looks like Venture is going down into the ground, but actually the hitbox model remains upstairs. So this is something I hope that gets fixed, because this gets you killed a lot, even though it looks like you should be escaping a situation. Alternatively, I wouldn't be opposed if they gave Venture a like a invulnerability frame when they are digging underground. Kind of like how when Reaper or Moira Fade, they, well, in this case Reaper is the better example. He kind of becomes invulnerable, but honestly it's okay. It's just something they have to fix, and Venture is fine. I think Venture is also the most balanced character they've added in a very, very long time as well. If anything, I kind of think maybe Venture needs a little bit more range. And honestly, their playstyle, they remind me a little bit of old school DPS Doomfist. I've been seeing this a lot around as well. When we were live streaming it was immediately something I was like, man, this kind of feels like DPS Doomfist with the way you're kind of playing. Not like, obviously not completely. There's like a lot of things that aren't there, but certainly there's like a handful of things that do feel similar in the way that you're choosing to engage, the range that you're playing, the way you're comboing abilities. It feels nice. It's nice that we have that close range combo-esque playstyle for DPS back, through a form which is Venture. Of course, I would still love to get DPS Doomfist back for, because I love Doomfist as a character, and it was my second most played DPS back in Overwatch 1. But Venture, absolutely lovely addition. Now, I want to talk about the general kit. So we spoke about Burrow, and I really like the way their abilities work. They feel very smooth, they feel very consistent. I like the fact that, to add a little bit more threat factor to the gun, the big giant drill, the drill itself, the melee does a little bit more damage, and you have to maintain it onto a target to get max value. I believe it does about 40 or 50 damage. I'm not entirely sure, but it does hit like a brick wall. It will catch a lot of people off guard if they underestimate it. So, you know, I really like that as an ability. If anything, like sometimes I just spam the melee and get kills off of it, because it's very effective. Like, don't underestimate the melee potential in a 1v1, especially if you're in like a closed room and you might be like stuck in the reload animation, or if you don't have your right click dash. Speaking of the right click dash, I absolutely love this ability. There's so many things you can do with it. The mobility, I'm so happy it's omnidirectional. With the mobility, you can go wherever you want, set yourself up for some really cool plays. And it feels like a Genji dash, not gonna lie. So it sits right at home with me, with somebody who plays Genji. So the dash is very fun to use. It just kind of feels like if you gave Genji like a giant like rocket launcher, projectile rocket launcher, and then like kind of mix that together with Venture's unique kit. That's kind of what Venture feels like to me. So I really, really like the character. And that then brings us to the primary fire. I really like the primary fire. I'm not going to lie. I I know people are a little bit mixed opinionated on this, so I would love to hear what you guys think down below. I kind of think Venture maybe needs just a little 5 to 10 meter range buff, because a lot of the times the way the projectile is working and the way the projectile wants to interact with other targets in the game, it almost feels like it puts Venture in a very uncomfortable state, and Venture feels very difficult to play on defense. Like, when you're defending an objective, let's say you captured a point on King of the Hill and you have to defend it, or you are defending King's Row, or you're defending Rialto or whatever. It really feels like Venture has to put themselves in a lot of difficult situation to get maximum value out of the left clicks, which I really don't like as a design. And the reason I don't like it, from this design POV that the range is so short as well, is Venture's damage against tanks is utter garbage. Like Venture does not have any good matchup against the tanks. Probably like you just want to help complement your team, melt a tank, and focus fire someone down. But Venture's ability to duel tanks is really bad. So when you're playing Venture, do everything that you can to possibly avoid fighting a tank 1v1 unless you have no choice whatsoever. In that regard, I would actually argue that you're better off trying to escape with your two different mobility tools. So be sure to keep an eye on that. Another thing on the side, Venture has a lot of like cute hidden techs and things that people don't know about. So for example, if you're using your dash while you're underground, it's actually a 4-second cooldown, and if you're above ground, it's an 8-second cooldown. So it's really cool to know these type of things, because again, it makes a big difference in terms of how you carry yourself throughout the game. So I really liked it about Venture, but I will have one complaint that as I've been playing Venture, I've like begun to realize this part feels really bad. And let's see what they do with it. Maybe they could increase the cone and everything. And I'm sure now you all have guessed where I'm going. It's Venture's ultimate. I think Venture's ultimate is probably the clunkiest or slowest part of their kit. It really feels like it slows Venture down in the way that they are trying to play. And if anything, it's honestly a lot of the times when I am using the ultimate, I feel like it's more of a detriment because it puts me in a more vulnerable position. They could increase the range of it, but that could make it a little bit too broken. But I would rather that they make the cone a little bit bigger. Um, because like I said, like it's weird because Venture feels so squishy. Like I don't know how to explain this. Like if you play the character, you guys know what I mean, right? It's like anytime you're like up in somebody's face, it feels like anybody else who has good matchups in close range, Sombra, Tracer, Reaper, Mei, Genji, I guess to a certain extent Hanzo, Sojourn, Soldier 76, Cassidy, it feels like they are always favored simply because your damage can feel a little bit inconsistent and you're very much reliant on the gimmick of your drill. So if you miss the ability to land the dash and you miss the ability to follow up with the or even just use the melee, Venture can feel very difficult to play. So it's very interesting because again, like Overwatch, they're all about leaning into gimmicks, right? Like for Mauga, it was about him utilizing the double cannons. With Venture, they are trying to use the drill, so they're trying to put more focus on, hey, drill people down and all this type of stuff. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I think I don't necessarily agree with all these videos that I'm saying where people are particularly saying that, oh, Venture is meta, Venture is meta, Venture is OP. I don't think they're OP. I think they're actually just balanced, and once we as a community get used to them, we'll be fine. Honestly, I think Venture is probably the most balanced character we've been given. And here's a blazing hot take. I would actually like to see Venture not be given any balance changes. Rather, change up the rest of the game that where some things are sticking out like sore thumbs. Like at the moment, I think we can all agree Orisa is unbelievably OP. And yes, Orisa rant video coming up, guys, this Monday. Tomorrow I'll be doing the best Venture guide, and after that we'll be doing a video on the state of Orisa, and I'm going to be ranting and absolutely destroying Orisa's hero design and absolutely how terrible this hero is. And people were calling me mad when I was saying at the beginning of season 9, I believe we're in season 9, right? I was saying like, hey guys, Orisa's kind of OP. Like, don't sleep on Orisa. She's very strong. Now people were like, Orisa's not that strong. What are you saying, man? Mauga's coming back slowly, and and here we are. And OWCS, everybody's just playing Orisa everywhere now. Granted that there were some tanks that like did take the spotlight from her, but let's not kid ourselves. Orisa's pretty OP right now, right? Anyways, so back to Venture. Venture, from a design POV, from a character gimmick POV, from a fun fun factor POV, 10 out of 10 character. This character is what I love about this character is this is the first character in a long time where it feels fair to duel them. Like I've played Genji, Hanzo, Sombra, Tracer, 76, Pharah, Echo into them, and I feel like the matchups are so fair and balanced. It's not like oh, I'm dueling Iliari and she has the pylon up, I have to keep that out. Oh, Lifeweaver can do like 7,000 forms of running away, or if I'm dueling a tank, it's just pointless to shoot at them. Venture feels like the first character in such a long time where just it feels fair to play against and fair to play with. And I really hope that they learn what makes Venture so special, and actually like take this like balance philosophy or hero design philosophy and start applying it to other characters. We do know that our next character in the support slot, it is a support. it's Space Ranger. So I really hope that Space Ranger, when she comes out, she is, fun to play. We do know that Space Ranger will be focused a little bit more about verticality. So I look forward to seeing what they do over there. Anyways, everybody, I want to know, what do you think about Venture down below? Gameplay, lore, aesthetics, blah blah blah. I think they did a great job with all of that, and obviously major shout outs to Venture's actress. I don't know how to identify them, so please excuse me over there. My sincerest apologies, but they have done a fantastic job with Venture. I love listening to Venture, whether it's in the game. They're so dorky, goofy, fun to listen to. I love hearing their voice line interactions. Like, one of the things I really like about Venture as a character, personally, is this is the first character we've gotten who's a lot more like relaxed and chill, and dare I say it, respectful, to the rest of the roster. Like, pretty much all the other characters we've gotten, like Kiriko, Iliari, like if you look at Kiriko, Iliari, they're just like that girl boss, like, I can take care of myself, I don't need anybody, and Kiriko is a little bit more, let's say, for lack of better words, she's a little bit more bitchy to other characters, where, Iliari is a little bit more like, composed, keeps to herself, which is understandable in Iliari's case. I guess you could also argue Life Fever is somebody who's a little bit more chill, but I don't know. Life Fever, his interactions are a little bit here and there for me. Although he's fine as a character, not my cup of tea. But Mauga, he's too much goofy, too dorky. So too much of something can be a little bit silly. Honestly, I thought Mauga was going to be a lot more of a serious character, so I wasn't really particularly a fan when they did make him a big bozo, as Venture calls him. But also Venture's interactions with Mauga are really fun. If you guys have heard it, it's really fun. Anyways, I'm done fangirling, fanboying, fanbaying about Venture. Venture is a lovely character, 10 out of 10. Great job, Blizzard. Hope you guys can stay on this streak and make season 10 a wonderful season to enjoy. Anyways, everybody, that's it for this video. If you want to support the channel for free, you can do so by hitting like and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. Please do let me know, what do you think about Venture down below. And I hope you check out the best Venture guide when I do upload it tomorrow. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be showing off a lot of different tips and tricks. So if you want to get ahead of the curve in season 10, do watch my video. This is probably, like, usually when I make these type of guides, they are a little bit more centered around being perfect for beginners, but I will slide in some advanced tips for Venture in there. So keep an eye out for that. With that being said, I will see you in tomorrow's video.